AITA for telling my girl she had to move out if she was keeping her baby? My 45 meters. Daughter Lisa, 20F, lives at home. Last year her friend Emma, 21F, moved in with us last year after her parents moved to another state. She was having issues at home, aka didn't like the rules. And her and my cuter wanted to enroll in school here together. She pays us $200 a month in rent, but really it just covers the extra food and whatnot in the house. She decided she didn't want to go to school anymore, so she doesn't have a very good job. Her boyfriend Clint, 27 meters, has no job and lives with his parents. Clint is your typical lazy, lives in his mom's basement, can't keep a job and it's everyone else's fault kind. And in case you were wondering, yup, do not like him. A couple of weeks ago Emma comes home and excitedly announced she was pregnant. Since then, there are all kinds of things she now cannot do around the house because she's pregnant. Can't take out the trash because pregnant, and the smell makes her nauseous. Can't clean her cat's cat box because pregnant. Can't clean up after herself because pregnant. And she is too tired. The list goes on. There had already been ongoing discussions happening with both Emma and my daughter about them not helping around the house, and it has caused a lot of tension. I sit down with them again about this, and Emma says she can't do so much because pregnant, but she has a solution. Clint can move in to help. I said absolutely not, and she got pissy and said, well, I'm going to need help, especially after the baby is born. Quote, I said absolutely not, again. And then she starts going on about how its mom is very abusive, and he can't keep living there, but he couldn't afford his own place for them. ECT. I got fed up with the whole thing and said, if you plan on keeping that baby, you need to worry more about where you are going to live than your unemployed BF. Because you need to move out of my house. Her and my daughter got very upset and accused me of trying to force her into termination. I explained that I don't care what she does, but I don't want to deal with her pregnancy, and I especially don't want to deal with a newborn in my house. Emma was crying and said she has nowhere to go. I told her she could go live with her parents, or with her BF's parents, but she had 60 days to move out of my house. So AITA. NTA. The audacity. And your daughter needs a reality check too. NTA. This situation is only to get worse after the baby arrives and Emma starts pushing up to be primary caretaker. Seeing as she's already outstaying her welcome, it's time for her to go and figure things out with the father. I personally think your NTA. They're not helping or contributing to the house really. And while you may have consented her to stay there for a period, you didn't agree to take in a whole family. NTA. Good on you for providing a reality check. If she can't care for herself, how does she expect to care for an infant? If she does plan to keep the baby, this will motivate her to get her ducks in a row before the baby comes. If she decides to terminate, hopefully this will encourage her to take birth control more seriously. NTA. The problem I see is you gave her too good of a deal with rent. She took advantage of that and now wants to extend this to her boyfriend. She isn't your daughter and you isn't your problem. Charge her market rate for the room, and get her to move into her boyfriend's mother's basement. NTA. She is not a relative, you owe her nothing. Make sure you enforce the eviction order. NTA. But the moment she came with the news she was pregnant was the moment you should have had a sit down to talk about her future residency. They assume that since you didn't say anything right away, that you accepted the future child as a resident as well. You have a right to say, I don't want any more children in my house. I already raised mine here. And I'm not raising anymore. Your daughter and her friend both need to realize that a child is a giant responsibility and that you aren't going to bail her friend out of that responsibility. She has to face it. NTA. Your daughter and her friend can go get a place together if they want to be mad about it. NTA. I thought it was going to be your daughter, but this isn't even your kid? She is 21 years old? I would have told her to leave as soon as she left school. Ostensibly that was the main reason for her to need accommodation. No school. No job. Get out. She is not your responsibility or concern. Even less so now she is suggesting you allow her freeloading boyfriend to move in too. As for your daughter, tell her to go rent a place with her friend if she wants to help so much. Guessing she won't like that idea. These people are like fungus, spreading and causing problems. Sorry. Op. You didn't sign up for any of this, Mishigas. You are NTA for giving Emma the boot. It's closing time rules now. She doesn't have to go home. But she can't stay here. NTA. You're a saint to put up with her, and even more by giving her 60 days. I would have given her 30 days. The one thing you need to say is that regardless of what she decides, she still needs to move out. This way no one can accuse you of trying to force her to get an abortion. Tell your ungrateful daughter if she doesn't agree with your decision, she is free to also move out. As she is an adult, she can rent a 2-bedroom and all of them, including her BF, can move into, and she will be paying for the majority of the bills. NTA. But put the 60-day notice in writing. The way these things usually go, you will have to evict them and you need the paper trail. Edit. Also, I would give them both 60 days regardless of whether or not she terminates the pregnancy. NTA. I would only talk to them so many times. These are delusional and uninformed young people that don't fully understand responsibility, financial management, or how the real world works. And you definitely don't want to deal with their drama, and with a newborn added in, you don't want her claiming domicile rights. Check your state laws for the proper process to get a temporary compassion stay or renter out of your home when they won't leave on their own. Maybe they won't be awful and try to refuse to move out, but I know people that had to deal with relatives that pulled this move once they got too comfortable. NTA. If she's excited to have the baby, she better get ready for all the responsibilities that entails before the baby is born. NTA. You already owe her nothing, yet she expects more. NTA. Make sure to leave a paper trail of the 60-day eviction. I literally lolled when I read that she suggested her 27-year unemployed boyfriend move in. The audacity. NTA. She's 21 and the daddy is 27. She's pregnant, not handicapped, and the two of them should be working to support themselves and their baby. Being a grown-up is hard, and they are both about to learn that quickly. NTA. Who wants to bet neither mother is abusive, just tired of looking after these adult babies? NTA. When I was pregnant with my twins, I did everything I would normally do. I didn't have a cat, so that wasn't an issue. You know the hardest thing? Little buggers gave me crazy motion sickness. Even moving my head too fast made me feel sick. I still worked, mowed, took rubbish out, drove even though it made me sick, cleaned and did laundry. She is incredibly immature and is using being pregnant as an excuse. I'm glad you aren't allowing her to manipulate you. NTA. Stick to the 60 days. The real issue here is that Emma moved into your house with no plan to ever leave and grow up, and is choosing to have a child because she thought that would get her out of doing work. And she's been using being pregnant as an excuse to not do work, and trying to move her boyfriend into your house as well. Unless you are really prepared to put her stuff out on the porch. She isn't going to leave, and she's going to keep disrespecting you in your home forever. Your moral responsibility is to protect yourself from being used.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.